at you. CATCHIMPIPS. I've been CATCHIMPIPS. I've been.
Hey, it's your man Charlie P. Outside getting a little walking with my little one. But just coming real quick to say, man, caught a really good trade in London session last night. Trying to make sure that you all see the Picotin strategy in play again. Before we get into the video, check out Henko Trade. I've got a link in the description. If you choose to sign up with them, consider using my link to show support for me. Since you know I do everything for you for free, I don't hold nothing back on this channel. 500 leverage if you choose to do higher lot sizes like I do. Super low spreads from 0 pips, low commission costs, and you can deposit as low as $10 to get started. And y'all know a lot of these folks don't accept US clients anymore. You're a United States client, Henko Trade got you. Come on. Also, super quick on the payouts. We know we want them payouts. They're super quick with that. But y'all check it out. Let's get into the setup. Woo, shoot. This Picotin setup on GJ I took, yeah, it's moving good. Shout out to London session for the win. I'm gonna go ahead and put my stop loss, adjust that to make it risk free. And then let's just find a TP right quick, which, I mean, it's the beginning of the week. I feel like this zone down here will be hit. So let's go ahead and try for that. Let me just start dragging that. Where'd that zone go? Let's drag it. Let's go just on top of it. Well, that's 196. We might as well go for even 200. All right, so we're gonna go for 200 pips on that TP. That'll be $10,500, which will be, as you see, just over double the account. So we're picking up from where we left off on Friday. I mean, we're already up 30% for the day. So in what, an hour? Yeah, because I got in, just at the top of this hour. So yeah, we're up 30% in an hour. That's crazy. All right, y'all, we'll come back and break down the full strategy when I'm up and have more energy. 24,000. Now that's on a prop account, of course. I just wanted to show y'all, like, I am trading multiple accounts right now. I'm actually going to go ahead and TP on this one with this 24,000. Oh man, now it's at 23. Close enough. We just still going to call it 24. So TP'd on that with 24,000. Back to my Henko Trade account. We're up 6K right here. So we are, oops, didn't mean to go to that time frame. We're currently about 120 pips up. So we got some time to come to our zone. What I think is probably going to happen right now is it's going to come up and come back here. So I'm going to actually go ahead and take this money out. So we're going to go ahead and TP right here, just in case it retraces back up to here and then comes down here. Now, let's talk about the full strategy that I used, the Picotin strategy. So looking at my Henko Trade account here, as you see, we're up to 16,000 now. Friday morning, before I took that trade, we were at 8,900. So we've just about, we're closing in on doubling this account. Okay, enough talking about all of that. Let's get to the actual strategy. No more going off on a tangent. So if I go to my rules here, here's the Picotin strategy rules. We're going to go through each one by one, and I'll show you how it played out in the market. So rule number 1, H1 must breach a sharp minor support or resistance zone. So going back to the Henko chart, H1, actually, let me get this off here. This was the sharp support zone. Okay, so as you see, it came down. It didn't make a whole bunch of consolidation down here. It just came down, made a sharp point, and came right back up. So I drew a line there. Then in Asian session last night, we see H1 breached that because it closed past that line. So rule number 1 was met. All right, so That was H1 breaching that sharp minor support or resistance zone. The second rule, H1 must then retrace and close shortly past the 10 EMA. I'm going to stop right there. Let's look at that. So let's watch where it retraces and closes shortly past the 10 EMA. So here's our breach of the support zone. Then we have two green candles, and then this one came up and it closed shortly past the 10 EMA. That's my white line. Okay. The second part of that, and the RSI 5 will close past the 50 level, leaving Ehlers-Fisher behind. So when this candle comes up and it closes shortly past the 10 EMA, at the same time, the RSI 5 down here, that's our dotted line, it closed above the 50 level, leaving Ehlers-Fisher behind. So Ehlers-Fisher was still chilling way down here, sleeping in the bed. RSI 5 then got up and went outside on them. You know what I mean? It's up here above the 50 level. So, all right. So back to the rules. H1's confirmation candle will be one of the following. This was a London session trade, so I'm just going to stick to the London session range of time right here. I'm on Central Standard Time, so the confirmation candle for me actually happened at 2 a.m. last night. So 2 a.m. or 10 o'clock chart time is what that would be equivalent to. So what I mean by that is if I go here and I put the crosshair on our confirmation candle, the confirmation candle is the peak of 10 candle, the candle that closed just past the 10 EMA. So this green bullish candle is the confirmation candle. That candle has to happen at a certain time of day for peak of 10 to be valid. So we see that happened at 10 o'clock chart time because I have my crosshair right over that candle. Looking down there at the bottom, we see it happened at 10 o'clock chart time, which again is equivalent to 2 a.m. Central Time. 2 a.m. Central Time, 10 o'clock chart time. So that rule is also met. So since all of those rules are met, oh, one more, I'm sorry. On the reassurance template, so let me just go ahead and switch over to my reassurance template. Okay, so now we're on the reassurance template, and I know I'm gonna have to go to the 15-minute chart. But let me finish reading that rule out for you. On the reassurance template on the 15-minute time frame, the 200 SMA should be on the side of the 400 you plan to trade in. So my 200 SMA is the gold line right here. This is the 400, the red line. So all I'm saying is, since we're looking to sell this, then the 200 should be under the 400. If we were looking to buy, we would want the 200 above the 400. A lot of times with peak of 10, this is the one rule that isn't met and it keeps me out of the trade. But in this case, it was met. So we were all good. All of our rules were met. So all we have to do at this point is enter. Enter when the 15-minute, enter when M15 grabs the 50 EMA. Do not trade if M15 is coming out the bands. So once all of our rules were met, let me go back to my main chart here. So all of our rules were met on H1 and then of course that reassurance chart. So I went to M15 and I took the trade when price grabbed the 50 EMA, which it was actually right there already grabbing it when the peak of 10 candle confirmed. So we entered right at the top of this red candle, this red 15-minute candle. So I hopped in the trade right here. Boom. I had absolutely no drawdown. And then we took off. Now, when I said this part about do not trade if M15 is coming out the bands, what I mean is before it came back up to grab this area, if price down here would have been in the bands right here, then, or so for example, so let's just say peak of 10 didn't happen in London session. Let's say it happened in New York session and we were waiting on price to come up and grab the yellow line or the gold line right here in New York. I wouldn't have taken that because price would have been coming out the bands right here. You see what I mean? That's what I was talking about looking for here when it actually happened in London session, but it was not in the band. So we didn't have to worry about that. So we hopped in the trade right here. No drawdown. You saw I just TP'd. So that is the whole strategy. That's what I saw in order to take this trade. It was a peak of 10 setup. And to be quite honest with you, I anticipated this setup happening before I even went to bed last night, when price was probably like right up in this area in London. I'm sorry, in Asian session, because I already knew we had this sharp area of support here. I already had my line drawn and I was just waiting on it. I'm like, all right, if this breaches this, and it's more than likely going to happen, you know, I mean, Asian session was already finna be over with. So I'm like, it's going to breach it more than likely, which means I need to get my behind up for London, because if it breaches it, there's a good chance it's going to hit me with that peak of 10. I also already knew during Asian session on my reassurance chart that the 200 was on this side of the 400. So I already knew that that rule was met. That was the fourth rule. This one right here. I knew that that rule was already met. So I was anticipating this setup to happen. And so I was like, all right, let me set my alarm, get up. And that's what I did. Set my alarm because I anticipated it. I got up. It was there. Bam, we took it. That is peak of 10. But once again, guys, consider using my link in the description to sign up with Hanko Trade so you can trade with this broker like I am. Yes, it does help support my channel. And yes, they are legit. Yes, they pay out. So help me continue giving you free content. And like I said before, the more support I see in that regard, the more I'm going to show up on here and keep posting videos more often. I'll holler at y'all on the next one.